Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime back for another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers Amazon exclusive line of figures, the Golden Disc Collection. So anyway, let's just get right on into it. And here is the Golden Disc Collection packaging just fully shown off. All four boxes form together to form an image of the Golden Disc. And that's really it for the packaging. There isn't really anything else to really say. It's just plain cardboard boxes. On the back of the boxes, it just has product shots of the different characters on the back, so there's nothing much else to say here. And just to let you guys know some of the stuff about this review, I will not be covering the transformations because all these figures are basically just cool repaints. But I will go over Terrorsaur's transformation at least because he has the most retooled parts, so I'll at least show off the different stuff in his transformation, even though it's basically just Air Razor, but anyway. And then I'm also going to show off these guys in the particular order that they were announced and came out in. First off, we're starting with the Puffer and Roadranger 2-pack. And, yeah, these guys are pretty nice. Puffer here is a repaint of Pipes, and Roadranger is a repaint of Huffer. What are the differences? Very, very minimal. So let's just get right on into those accessories and then the details. If any of you watched Beast Wars during the Season 1 finale, there was an alien machine that blew up and caused a transwarp explosion, and the Golden Disc Collection is the aftermath of that transwarp explosion. The explosion caused for GoBot Roadranger to get teleported into the Transformers universe and become an Autobot, and then the transwarp explosion also took Autobots, Pipes, and Huffer and fused them together as one Autobot known as Puffer. I like how Puffer has this brand new head sculpt. This head sculpt is completely new for this figure. I like the red visor and the mouth plate. Makes him look more robotic and less humanoid, which is nice to think about when this guy is a fusion of two characters. I also like that they have this, even though it's the same chest used with Pipes, I still like seeing that because it's different from the Huffer one. Nice silver painted arms, very basic. I like these double fusion cannons. I love posing this guy around with these. And then he's just got nice mechanical detail going all around. You've got the nice wheels right here with the silver painted on the rims. And then, obviously, he only has that one slight difference with the other molds, that this thing is rotated backwards, which is accurate to his character. So I guess that is a nice little detail right there. So yeah, nothing much else to really say about the detail on this guy. Getting into Roadranger here. Roadranger also rocks out a brand new head sculpt, where he's got, again, like a visor and mouth plate, only it's more rounded, looks more go-body. And I think mine has a slight off molding in the visor. It's kind of hard to see, but it looks like he has pupils. It's kind of weird looking. I wonder if that's a GoBot thing or mine is like a messed up thing. Like, I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I like the paint here. Got the Autobot logo in the red. Got the silver arms again, and he's got the shield plugged right there onto his arm. Just has the black hands. He's got silver there on the crotch with this nice... I like this hot orange and regular orange fusion. You got the black right there as well. Looks very nice. Again, silver there in the rims. And then he's got the backpack, but facing the other way, and some very nice silver and detailing right on there. So, pretty basic for both of these guys. Going over the articulation, their articulation is exactly the same, even with the retooled parts. The head can rotate on a ball joint and can look up and down. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can hinge in and out. Bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow, wrists move in and out, waist swivel, hips move forward, they move back, they can move outward, they both have thigh swivels, knees bend way beyond 90 degrees, and then they do have ankle pivot, and then this little heel thing is articulated. So that is it for Roadranger and Puffer, at least in their robot modes. One other thing before I move on here, just doing some quick comparisons. Here are these two compared to the original Huffer mold, and just so you can kind of see some of the differences between Huffer and, his spawn that has spawned off of his mold. But anyway, that is basically it for robot comparisons. Again, transwarp explosion, teleported Action Master Jackpot from the Action Masters universe. And if you're unaware of Action Masters, they were little action figures from the 90s that were figurines that had transforming weapons and all that, but they did not transform themselves. This Action Master got transported through the transwarp explosion to the G1 universe, and now he was given the ability to transform. It's just a repaint of Jazz, because back in that Action Master toy looked something like Jazz, so this was a nice retool / repaint for them to do. So anyway, getting close in on Jackpot. Jackpot has got this brand new head sculpt, that orange visor, very like 90s looking head. I actually kind of like. Now, we're going to get into the articulation in a second, but the ball joint here at this head is very, very loose. I mean, it still poses and holds poses, but like it's so loose that like, I don't know. It's just not quite my tempo. It's not tight enough to my... I do like how the figure came out, and I actually really like the colors on this guy. I like the black and yellow, and those highlights of silver and orange, and that little bit of red right there in the abdomen. Very nice. He's got the blue... He does come with the blue pistol that Jazz came with, and then he's got his Battlemaster, which is a repaint of Terrorsaur, which did also come with a blast effect as well. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with this Terrorsaur Battlemaster at this point. It's just a black and blue version of the one that we already got in the past, and it is basically unpainted. It's just, like, it's really basic, but it is nice to get a blast effect and Battlemaster in this. So, I have no idea what this right here is. I have this weird, like, painted section on the black plastic, and, like, I think I have a paint chip? Like, what the frick is this? Anyway, getting into the articulation, as I mentioned, loose ball joint the head, which allows for a swivel and look up and down. Shoulders rotate a full 360. They do also shift in and out, and then it can move in and out. Bicep swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrists move in and out. He does get a waist swivel. Backpack can move to accommodate articulation. Hips can move forward. They can move back. They can move outward. He does have a thigh swivel. He has a bend at the knee, and then he has an extra transformation joint that allows for a double bend, and then he has toe articulation and ankle pivot. So that is it for his articulation. And for comparisons, here is the Studio Series 86 Jazz compared to Jackpot, so you can kind of see the differences in the mold here. Obviously, the head is the main difference, but honestly, this is one of those repaints where the colors are so vastly different that it feels almost like an entirely different figure than the original Jazz. And I actually really like it. So, again, not much to complain about here. He just has a loose little knee right there. And now getting into the only Voyager class in this set, here is the Mutant Tigatron. This Beast Wars character is based on... So this color scheme is based on the old vintage Tigatron toy box art. Anyway, the point is, this figure hails from a alternate universe where Tigatron is evil, and basically he's not very peaceful. He has a lot of bloodlust, and he has, like, the thrill of the hunt, and he's, like, a cold-blooded killer. Like, anyway. Again, this guy's a mutant, and this was a little battle mask on the original toy that flipped down as, like, a little mutant head. But here, it is not a battle mask. It is his actual face. And he's got those bronze eyes that look very unsettling. It almost looks like they're looking at you no matter which way it's turned. And I like the blue and orange. The blue and orange here is a very interesting color. Even interesting color palette. I like the original, like, tiger head right there. He's got the gut blaster and his tail. And again, nice molded detail with the fur texturing and the mechanical detail. And this guy was engineered very much better than Cheetor. I like the way how this guy has come out. And his articulation is pretty good as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. Getting into his articulation, the head is on a ball joint, can rotate side to side, can't really look up or down. Shoulders can rotate up, they can rotate back. He does get a very tight butterfly joint. Shoulders can move out, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in all the way, wrist swivel, waist swivel, hips move forward. If you move this butt flap, they can move back. They can move outward, upper thigh swivel, bend at the knee, ankles hinge forward and back, and he does have ankle pivot. Very nice, tight, snug joints on this guy. Anyway, that is basically it for that. Here is you compared to the guy she tells you not to worry about. Seriously, though, here he is compared next to the original Kingdom Beast Wars Tigatron. And, yeah. And now getting into the most highly anticipated figure of the whole set, here is the Beast Wars Deluxe Class Terrorsaur. First off, he does come with the golden disc. For some reason, he comes with the alien disc and not the actual golden disc, even though that's the one that's advertised on the box. But anyway, you get a golden disc. And then Terrorsaur here also comes with this blaster here. It doesn't take the blast effects on the end, but you can still try to wedge them on there. And for some reason, these little arm blade things right here were packaged separately in the box, and they were wrapped up in this tiny little paper bag. So very tiny accessory. Don't lose these, especially when you're opening the box. They are very easy to miss. So just pay attention to that. Anyway, getting into some of the up-close details on Terrorsaur, this head sculpt looks very good. Very cartoon accurate. I like that evil smile on his face. Bright yellow eyes. And this guy's detail looks pretty good as well. I do like a lot of this molding and texturing going on here. Yeah, this was something that I wanted to mention. This guy's wings here are not the most solid. I don't know if this is my copy or if this is everyone's copy, but for some reason, the wings just feel like falling off. It is quite annoying, and I really hate it. And on top of that, he's got a lot of junk in the trunk. He's got quite the amount of kibble, but this actually doesn't bug me that much. I just have to suffer. Anyway, getting into the rest of his details, I like the mechanical detail. There's a tiny little Predacon symbol right there in his arm. I like the bits of silver. The highlights of silver really make this guy pop. Nice red, nice remolded feet. Talked about this mess. And, yeah, so very nice. Getting into the articulation, his head can bob up and down. It can rotate from side to side. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move up and down. Bicep swivel. Over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. These wrists do hinge up. And then he does have a waist swivel, which can be limited, but you just gotta move this little butt flap out of the way, and it'll accommodate for you. And then his hips can move forward that far. They can move back that far. They can move outward that far. He does get a above the knee swivel, over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Ankles can hinge forward and back, and then he has a... You can also articulate the wings about that much on his back, but I just don't want to. And here is Airazor compared to the Terrorsaur figure, just so you can really see a lot of the molding differences within these figures. And yeah, I almost forgot to mention the lore here about Terrorsaur is that in Beast Wars, Terrorsaur falls off of a hoverboard thingy with Scorponok, and they fall into a pit of lava. And when he falls into the pit of lava, he then gets fire-breathing powers, like he gets fire-like powers because he was in the lava during the Transwarp explosion. But anyway, and then the rest of the story of the Golden Disc collection is that Terrorsaur tries to use the Golden Disc to take over the entire universe while having the Mutant Tigatron as his second-in-command, and the only ones standing in his way is Puffer, Roadranger, and Jackpot. So, very interesting story here that they implied with these figures. It is a nice thing to get some nice written lore, I guess, for these figures. And here is Puffer and Roadranger in their vehicle modes, and honestly, Roadranger I think has the best looking colors of this particular mold in this vehicle mode, so I might keep this guy displayed in vehicle mode, but yeah, I don't really have much to complain about. And then Puffer here is just the exact same thing as Pipes, just in a lighter shade of blue, so I think I'm just going to keep this guy in the robot mode. But just looking at some of those details, I like the grille with the silver and the lights, the bumper. It's got the windows here, it's got the little doors and the silver smokestacks, little rivets and bolts, the wheels and the nice silver rims. And he's got these big old jet engines on the back with the fusion cannons there. And yeah, overall, not a bad vehicle mode. The only bit of kibble I can see are these little hands sticking out right here, but that's alright. And then you can just rotate the head around to hide that, and yeah, nothing much else to really complain about with these two, so that is basically it for that. And because I was too lazy to transform Huffer, here is them compared to Pipes, who was already transformed in his vehicle mode. So, yeah, like I said before, basically, Puffer just looks like Pipes, just with more silver highlights, but honestly, I'd rather keep this guy in his robot mode. But yeah, I still do like this mold quite a bit. Again, I really like the colors here on Jackpot, especially here in his vehicle mode. It makes that, like, muscle car really come out of this Porsche mode, and it really is highlighted. The only thing I wish they did in this mode is I wish they painted these rims in silver, especially these pins here really bugging the heck out of me. But again, I like the way how it looks. I like the silver at the front. I like all the yellow. Nothing looks out of place. Even that red piece in there makes it almost resemble like a seating type look in there. And with the orange clear plastic, and overall, it's just a really nice looking vehicle mode. I guess you can just do that, and then with this thing, I guess you can plug it in on his feet like that, and it just kind of hangs off the back, and then the blast effect can just go. There you go. And here is Jackpot compared to Jazz, and yeah, very nice looking pair here. Again, the colors are so vastly different that it makes him feel like an almost completely different figure entirely, and I really like how it came. Here is the Mutant Tigatron. Here's the Mutant Tigatron in his beast mode, and the Gut Blaster still has nowhere to go. Anyway, very nice looking beast mode. I like the colors. Again, very nice tiger detail going all over this guy. I like how he's got that very accurate looking head, and the teeth have indeed been painted, so very nice on Hasbro for that. Very nice bits of fur texturing going throughout it. I like the black stripes. Everything looks cleanly painted. He's got the paws here, the back legs, the tail, everything. The only bits of kibble is right here, and right here, so mostly the back legs. That tiny bit of blue right there, but honestly, this figure looks really good. It's nicely well articulated. Speaking of articulation, like I mentioned, I showed you earlier, there was that articulated jaw that's kind of hard to move. Due to transformation, you can have his head look up and down that little bit, but then there's a gap here. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They do have a butterfly joint right there. They can move in and out. Bend at the elbow. Paw can move up and down, and then there's a ball joint at that paw. And then the back legs can hinge forward and back, like right here at that knee or ankle, whatever, and then ball joint at the actual foot proper, and then the tail can just wag from side to side. So nothing much, but just enough to make this guy not a brick. So very, very nice articulation on this tiger. And here is Tigatron with Tigatron, and as you can see, the Gut Blaster still has nowhere to go. And also, the Tiger mode here does have these little bits of subtle yellow, but that is accurate to the actual animal, because this isn't trying to be cartoon accurate, it's trying to be animal accurate. And obviously, these are both pretty accurate to the actual tigers they are based on, and there's really nothing much else to say. The only thing is this guy's kibble kind of hides a little bit better, where this guy stands out more because it's that emerald green. But anyway, that is basically it for Mutant Tigatron. Now I'll briefly get into Terrorsaur's transformation. And that is basically it for Terrorsaur in his Beast mode, which looks pretty good. And this is actually the mode that he came packaged in. And yeah, Terrorsaur looks great. I like the head sculpt here, very cartoon accurate. Nice green eye right there. He's got the yellow beak. He's got the white teeth in there. The mouth can open, and I like that it's fully painted. So no slacking off on the paint there. Got, again, nice molded detail with this little print going on. If you want to hide that gap, you can hinge the head that little bit farther up, but then there's a gap down here, so there's no winning. And then he's got his little butt tail right there, and he's got all this nice mechanical detail with silver kind of bleeding through on the bottom. But again, there's really no complaining. Again, love the texturing right there. The leathery the molding on the wings also looks good as well. I won't deny that. And he's got his little hands right there. And overall, the articulation on this thing is also really good as well. The head can rotate a full 360. The mouth can open and close, like I mentioned before, can hinge up and down. And then there's also that hinge at the base of the neck, so you can get that. The wings can flap on multiple hinge joints, and then there's also this, like I mentioned. And then that little butt flap can hinge up and down. The legs can hinge forward and back, bend right there, and then the ankles are on a ball joint. So, pretty good articulation on the Terrorsaurs. Getting into beast mode comparisons, here we have Terrorsaur with the Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class Airazor. And, yeah, very, very cool how they managed to retool this into that. That is really cool that Hasbro managed to pull that off, and it really came out very well, and I really like this Terrorsaur. But, again, he does have those issues that I don't like. And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Kingdom Amazon exclusive Golden Disc Collection figures. Anyway, I'm happy with this set. If I had to give the Puffer, I'm going to give them individual ratings, and then the whole set as a rating. Puffer and Roadranger, for me, get a solid 6 out of 10. The Tigatron gets a solid 7 out of 10. The Jackpot gets a solid 6 out of 10. And then the Terrorsaur gets a solid 8 out of 10. Those wings really are bugging me a lot. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime. If you guys enjoyed the review, be sure to give me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Transformers reviews and more toy reviews. And I'll catch you guys next time.